Hi, third grade. Today we are looking at lesson 29 in your grammar packet, and we're going to practice using a dictionary or a glossary. The introduction says many words have more than one meaning or definition. You can use a dictionary or a glossary to check the exact meaning of a word or a phrase. A dictionary lists words in alphabetical order. Each entry gives the pronunciation, the part of speech, and the meaning of the word. So look at this entry example here. The word in green is plant. Here, in parentheses, it gives you the pronunciation or how to pronounce the word. It tells you the part of speech here. We should know what N stands for, which part of speech? Noun. Okay, so it could either be a seedling, or it could also be a factory. It says when there is more than one meaning, each definition is numbered. So we all know of a plant as something that you plant, a seed that you plant and it grows. But my dad works at a steel plant. So that's a type of a factory that makes steel. Then there's another part of speech. Plant could also be what does V stand for? Right, verb. It could mean to put seeds or seedlings into the ground to grow, or to set firmly in place, like you have to plant your legs. Lee plants 4 stakes in the soil to mark the corners of his garden. A sample sentence is often given to make a word's meaning clearer. Okay, so that's a dictionary entry, an example. And down here, it says a glossary is like a dictionary. It is also an alphabetical list of words in a book. Each entry explains the meaning of a word as it is used in that book. So, for example, pest. Here's how to pronounce it. It's a plant or an animal that causes a problem. Flies can be pests at a picnic, or it could just be an annoying person. To find the right meaning of a word, first you have to read all the definitions. Then you have to see which meaning makes sense in the sentence that you are reading. So let's look down below at the guided practice. It says, read the passage. Use the dictionary and glossary entries above to find the meaning of each underlined word. Then write the number of the definition above the word. Okay, before I read that paragraph, I want to read the hint. It says, ask yourself how the underlined word is used. Is it a noun or is it a verb, an action? Then reread the sentence using the definition you chose. Does the definition make sense? All right, let's go sentence by sentence here in this paragraph. The first sentence says, after you plant flowers in your garden, you care for them. Okay, so I envision, using the hint on the left, I envision this is something that you're doing. After you plant flowers, you care for them. So just to refresh your memory here on the screen, this is the dictionary entry for the word plant. Now, I'm not going to put a number 1 above it because this isn't a noun. And I'm not putting number 2. It's not talking about the factory. So let's see. Is this meaning of plant to put seeds or seedlings into the ground or to set firmly in place? This one has to do with planting seeds, right? So I think it's safe to use the third definition there. So put a number 3 above the first word, plant. And now let's move on to the next sentence. You plant poles in the ground to support any tall stems. This is also something that you do, so it's another verb, but poles don't have seeds, so we're not going to use 3 again. Let's look at what number 4 says, to set firmly in place, and look at that sentence. Lee plants 4 stakes in the soil. This kind of reminds me of that, so I think this plant is going and matching with definition number 4 there. All right, next sentence. You love your garden, but so do beetles. Some beetles eat plants. Okay, now I don't think this one's a verb. Some beetles eat plants. This is a noun, that's a thing. So which one? Is it a seedling or a factory? Well, I hope beetles aren't eating a factory. So I am choosing definition number 1 for that word. Try putting a birdhouse in your garden to attract birds. Many birds will eat pests, such as beetles. Okay, so just to refresh your memory, here is the example for the word pest. Now, is it a plant or an animal that causes a problem? Beetles? Or is it an annoying person? Are we putting 1 or are we putting 2? Well, beetles aren't people, so and hopefully birds won't eat people. So I'm hoping that you agree that this definition goes with number 1, a plant or an animal that causes a problem. Okay, 3rd grade, do your very best on the independent practice on your own. Good luck.